Welcome to Bloodbath & Beyond. Today we review The Pact. Are you alone in your house?
Written and directed by Nicholas McCarthy, starring Casper Van Dien, Caity Lotz, Kathleen Rose Perkins, and Agnes Bruckner. Based on the short of the same name, The Pact is about Annie, who's visiting her family home after her mother has just passed. When she arrives, she expects to be welcomed by her sister, but unfortunately, her sister just went missing, and strange occurrences are happening all throughout the house, and it seems to be something supernatural. This was actually a request from our top donator over on Patreon, Deke. This is the first mystery, thriller, paranormal movie that he's recommended. Usually that's John's thing, but he's like, nope, the both of you, you're doing it. So here we go. What do we like?
I thoroughly enjoyed the pacing of this film. This film was a slow burn, but it was the good kind. It was well paced in the sense that it built tension. It had you thinking what was gonna happen next, and if someone was gonna be like creeping behind them in the shadows.
As weird things start happening, it's important to kind of know where the character is. And so I really appreciated the Steadicam work because it's a lot of long takes of people maybe walking through the house talking on a phone or holding a laptop and just kind of like follows all the characters through the hallways, and it's cool. I thought the scares were really well done in this because, like John mentioned, you're kind of looking kind of further into the distance. You see like a tall, bald, scrawny man. We called him Scronoman.
The whole movie, it's like, when will bald Scronoman attack next?
You know, you got the creepy, long, lanky, dark shadows in the background, and you know, there's some pretty slick camera moves to just show them. It is a slow burn at the beginning, but as you start to like learn more information about the happenings of the house, then it becomes like more of a mystery, and you're trying to put all the pieces together, and it was enjoyable in that aspect.
Yeah, I think they did a good job giving you the reveal that you wouldn't see coming. I'm not saying that it's like a big twist, but it does give you the closure that you're looking for, and when you're dealing with a thriller mystery, you want to know the answers, and this film does give you the answers.
And apparently we might get more answers because there's a Pact sequel that exists.
And a Pact with John Cena.
And a new one with John Cena as well coming out, not to be confused with this one. Although, we're gonna hit like our top numbers when the John Cena one comes out, just like our Jack Frost did when everyone's searching for Michael Keaton's.
And Into the Woods.
Into the Woods also did really well when Walt Disney's version came out or whatever. Most of this film revolves around Annie and kind of her trying to figure everything out. She's played by Caity Lotz, who did an excellent job, especially being like this almost the sole performer, or at least she was like alone for a lot of the movie. She did a fantastic job. I'm not familiar with her, but I was very impressed.
Going back to the paranormal side of things, I felt that this film did a really good job because we had some cool scenes where characters are hovering like off the ground that looked cool and caught you off guard in most cases. And like when they're looking through the pictures or going through the camera, at 1 second, you're expecting something with anticipation and you don't get it, but when you do get it, the payoff is very creepy.
Now, what didn't we like?
I wasn't a real fan with the character interaction. Casper Van Dien plays Creek, and his interaction and his role in this film, it wasn't as realistic as it should have been. And the same can be said when Annie was going to see her high school friends in Stevie and Giles. Like, nothing about the people that Annie interacted with came off natural, and it just definitely takes it out of the realism of this movie when it's supposed to be serious.
I agree, especially with like Stevie's interactions, because she's basically a blind girl who has like premonitions, or she can feel supernatural presences. And it just seemed weird that she just like tracked her down after not hearing from her for 15 years or whatever, and she's just willing to come to a house and investigate. It just wouldn't happen. Even as unrealistic as the whole atmosphere is, this wouldn't have happened.
And the missing people situation, the fact that Liz and Nicole went missing right off the beginning, right before their mom's funeral, that in itself, like we see the funeral, it's like, hey, like it's a funeral, your mom's dead, but it doesn't matter that no one's there, and that's not important.
And nobody really mentioned that they were missing other than Annie. It seemed Annie was the only one that cared, and sometimes the detective. Now it's time for our final thoughts and ratings. The Pact was a fairly enjoyable film. I didn't know what to expect because I missed this one when it came out, and I don't remember seeing the trailer or even hearing about this film. And I don't watch a lot of paranormal movies, but this was pretty cool. It played out different than a lot of other paranormal movies that I've seen, And I think maybe that's why I enjoyed it a little bit more. I liked our main lead and I loved the cinematography, but I think that most of the characters were either not needed or didn't add much to the film, to be honest. And it's not as if the characters are annoying in any sense, it's just they're fairly bland and they kind of just don't really need to exist at all. I did like the closure that we got, and I am probably interested in watching the sequel, to be honest, because I liked where the whole movie ended. So I'm gonna give this 3 ice cream cups with those little wooden spoons out of 5.
The Pact was an interesting paranormal mystery. I liked the story in this one. I thought it was very well paced. I didn't necessarily enjoy all the characters in this film because it just didn't feel like they were natural or real characters, despite the fact that this is a paranormal movie. However, I did find this film to be creepy. I enjoyed all the scare tactics that they used, and I like that this film built anticipation through having you look beyond what the camera was giving us. It's really good style, and it's something I'd like to see more of. Like Bald Scroneman. He is the highlight of this movie, and I think I really like it more with the fact that me and Jay joked about this guy since we first saw him on screen all the way through.
We were supposed to be more scared than cracking up at Bald Scroneman, I think.
But with a name like Bald Scroneman, it was just so much fun to say.
Hi, I'm Bald Scroneman. I want to see... Never mind. Okay, you finish up.
Yep. So with that being said, I'm going to give this film 3.5 global search engines out of 5.
As always, thank you for watching. Like this video and comment below with your thoughts on the film if you've seen it. If you haven't and you do want to check it out, there are links in the description below. I don't know why I took a breather there. And if this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe to the channel, stay updated with everything Blood, Bath, and Beyond. And if you want to be a top D like Deke, then head over to Patreon, check out the rewards.